This video is brought to you by Chloe's Hammer Game, free on Equip buff.
What's up guys, Nightingale here, and welcome back to the Intermediate Traveler's Guide. Today I'm bringing you Advanced Banshee 13. So I normally would have thought to put this inside the Adventurer's Black Book with the gear requirements here, but I wanted to put this inside the Intermediate Traveler's Guide like I did the rest of the series because I want you to be able to come out of your basics and start looking at what to advance to. And this is the best case scenario. This video is specifically made for people who are out there who say they don't want to one-shot X hunt. Well, here is your answer right here.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Fly, Kluri! Get him!
Okay, memes aside, I'm not just gonna sit here and leave that on and let it play. We're gonna put it down somewhere in the video and we're gonna let that just run on its own. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a team for those of you who are just so adamant on being, I don't want to one-shot Banshee, or for those who just can't one-shot Banshee yet, here's a team that you can use. But this disclaimer will go out. This is the easiest hunt out of all 5 to one-shot. You can almost come out of Wyvern 13, just finally getting that done, and start working on your one-shot comp. All you need is really Leo, Vivian, and Biken, or Elfelt. Or not Elfelt, Euphine. If you have Biken, which is about to release here because of the Guilty Gear collab, she's the lowest gear entry to be able to one-shot the Banshee. Then Euphine takes a good bit more of gear to be able to do it, because Biken can split it up between 2 skills. Euphine has to do it in 1. So, personally, I would recommend you go in and invest into it. And for some of you, you could even use Aiden over Leo, but I recommend Leo over Aiden just for the fact that Leo is going to be used in several of my one-shot comps, so therefore, it's better to use Leo. Now, with that being said, here is the non-one-shot variation. So, what we're going to be doing is using Montmorency for the cleansing and healing ability, not really the heals, but more the cleansing ability. Helga for the defense break. Vivian is going to be our wave clearer, and then Edgelord 9000 is here for our main big damage. So let's go in and jump in with Montmorency and talk to you about her stats. So the big thing to notice here is we're going to use for artifact is Rod of Amaryllis. Why? Because Montmorency is not a great healer. She's a great cleanser with good healing abilities. So our goal is, with her being faster, we want her to cycle more. Let's go ahead and just say, if you haven't got around to doing Montmorency's runes, you want these done. All right, you're going to be using her for a lot of content, and if you're even considering farming Banshee at this point, you should probably have this done. Mine is on the self-imprint for effect res, and also you should just go ahead and have her plus 15, well, 14 in my case, because the damage skill here doesn't really matter. Unless you're going to go DPS Montmorency, which I've seen people do it, you don't really need it. All right, so substats. 200 ER is going to be your target benchmark here. Well, really, you can actually get away with somewhere around 150 to 170, but 200 should keep you from getting debuffed most of the time. Pretty clean when you look at the effectiveness, crit chance, and crit damage. No wasted stats here, which is really, really good. We've got her sitting at around 220 speed, which will be good for cycling between her S2 and her S3, because the S2 is probably the best part of her. The S1 is all right. And then we've got decent bulk for where she's at. Between the 16,000 HP and the almost 1,600 defense, she's pretty tanky for what she is. But the goal here is just to have her fast and cleansing, taking as many turns as she possibly can, so she keeps the debuffs cleansed off of you. Now, we do have Vivian in the team, so we will have immunity up for a bit, but when it falls off, this makes sure that you are staying healthy. Also, it's Rod of Amaryllis too, so every non-attack skill, S2, S3, is free heals to everyone. Alright, so let's jump over now to Helga. So, Mercenary Helga, yes, we've got the speed imprint on her, but this really doesn't matter. What we're doing here with her artifact, the big important thing here is you can actually use whatever artifact you want here. You could technically use Daydream Joker if you wanted. You can use Proof of Valor if she's too squishy. You can use I wouldn't use any like super offensive artifacts, to be honest. Like any like something like Glutton, Tooth. If I was going to be doing hunts, again, it's probably Daydream Joker, but I've got 14 Temperance here because this is just what I use for expos, and it works. It's a free barrier. Not that it's great, but hey, it's a little something, so it works. So let's talk about Helga's stats. ER is absolutely horrible. We're not really here for ER. It's just what was baked in on the gear. The effectiveness is overcapped, but I was looking for around 65 to 85 effectiveness, just somewhere in that range, just so I had it. We've got absolutely no crit chance, or no crit damage for, as far as DPS is built, the DPS build aspect of it, but we did get her kind of up there, almost to max with 75 crit chance, or 76 crit chance, excuse me, because the thought process here was to keep her kind of like a damage unit, so that she is putting damage down, but not like an actual major damage dealer. Now, if you want to balance out your substats and get more, I would say, proper effectiveness, get rid of the ER, you can probably clean this up and get some more damage baked into her. But my main goal was I want her at 228 speed. I wanted her to go near first all the time so that, you know, cycling her the most for the defense break. Now, we do have a redundant here of an attack buff, but that's okay. The effectiveness buff is also here for her so that she can land the defense break. And now the bulk may look bad, but then I need you to take a second look up there at her stars. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. She is still 5-star. I believe in Fribbles this says she's around 16-ish thousand HP total when everything's like reforged and if they're, well, no, this all is reforged gear. So it's around 16,000 when she's 6-star. So she's gonna take some hits here, but she's never gonna be like really life-threatened, and then we also have Montmorency healing up. So I'm not really worried about this as far as where this is sitting, but yes, if you 6-star your Helga, she will look a lot better. Okay, now let's get on to the damage dealers. Let's go waifu before husbando. Alright, Vivian is a little bit different than what I normally use here. Now, you guys know that I use Vivian for Banshee one-shot, but this is not the Banshee one-shot build. As you can see, we have pen set on her, but you're like, but she has AoE. Why do you have pen set? For the S1. We're still going to be rocking Time Matter here in this case because we want the ability to wave clear, so if we do leave a little bit left, she can finish it off. Mine's just plus 15 for Banshee one-shot. You can use higher if you've got it tuned right. As far as exclusive equipment here, we're rocking the number 2 exclusive equipment for the 50% combat readiness when using mana amplification. As far as Molas are concerned, really the big thing that you want with her is to have, well, if you're using one-shot variation, you need max S3 for wave clearing. The cooldown, obviously, in normal functioning, you need it, but when it comes to one-shots, you don't really need this. And then you should probably go level up the S1 more, but I can't because if I level it up to the plus 5, I'm overpowering the Banshee. So I can't do this. But let's talk about stats, because stats are what's important here. So crit chance is actually a little, or crit damage is a little worse than what I normally run here. I normally have, I think mine's over 300 something. But in this case, we've actually slowed her down, but I've gained way more bulk here. So we got 283 crit chance, 85, or 283 crit damage, 85 crit chance, 201 speed. We've got her definitely a lot more bulky than what she was. We have her now sitting at 1,362 defense with 11,960 HP. Why I was playing around with this and I'm not going super lean is, well, I do want the fact of having extra bulk, because the longer we stay in the run, the more likely we are to get hit. I didn't want to run her at glass cannon because I don't want her to die, because she is the wave clear. So having some bulk with Montmorency as your healer is okay and advised, but this is just why I didn't go stronger into more attack and crit damage, just because I really wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of bulk, because I'm trying to think long term of the hunt. So Edge Lord 9000, you love him, you hate him, you got both. So why I picked him was because I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to be 100% honest here. I never farmed this normal. I went straight from Wyvern 13 to Banshee one-shot. I skipped the step of farming this normally. Now, a lot of people don't want to one-shot because they don't have the gear, or they're trying to get into Banshee probably a little too early. So I created a fun team. Because I have Violet and East, plus 15, why not? Also because I had the rule I couldn't use limited units, because I didn't want to do this entire series with a single limited unit. Moonlights are fine, but limited units were the issue because I was using ML4s. All right, now let's talk about the artifact, because this is key here. Why we're not using Moonlight Dreamblade in this case is because we've got super redundant attack buff at this point. Really redundant attack buff. Vivian and Helga both are supplying him with an attack buff, so there's no need to have Moonlight Dreamblade. Plus, bringing up the invasion for what purpose? He's not going to die here. So Daydream Joker is advised for the extra damage. Now, I will tell you this from the trial runs I've done. Rage might be a bit wasted depending on how your stuff lines up. Now, if you notice that my Helga had no skill ups, and why I didn't mention that is because just specifically for me, my Helga is not really used that often. And with the collab coming up, which today is March 13th, 2022, I didn't want to spend any catalyst doing this video because Jacko is about to be announced as far as what her kit is going to be on the 16th. So every catalyst I can hold on to, I didn't want to spend on that, or else I probably would have gone ahead and done it for the video. But in this case, your Violet should be plus 15 anyway, because he is a disgusting PvP character. You can also probably just use your PvP Violet build. Gonna be honest, the lifesteal build will probably be just fine. But in the sake of Advanced Wyvern 13, we've got to talk about absolute disgusting numbers, which is what we came up with. So here we go. Yeah, I know, I feel bad, but this came off of, I think, Sigrid or Sirmia, which they needed a little effectiveness, so I couldn't get that off. But we've got him sitting at 333 crit damage. That is massive damage. Now, his crit chance may at first look be off, but you got to think about he's got his S2 buff, which will give him 15% crit chance. So just at the magic number. Now, speed is pretty slow for what he is, but he does have the ability to counter, which is great. Bulk, I am terrified of that defense when I first look at it, but then I gotta think this is a hunt and not PvP. If this was PvP, I'd be scared for my life because you could probably one-shot this Violet with just about anything. Could pop this. But then we've got 4,608 actual attack. I can't wait. This definitely hurts. Now, if you get it lined up, the stars align, you can do some disgusting damage to the Banshee with just this unit. It's really awesome. So let's jump in and cover the Banshee. So, pretty stable team. I kind of like this, but I like one-shotting more. It's just easier. So the concept here will be Vivian should be able to wave clear this. As long as Helga does enough damage to one of these, she should be able to go through with her S2 and completely obliterate the Banshee and the clone. As you can see, we've got the redundant of the attack buff, which is fine. I'm not really worried about that. In this case, it's just, you're going to have an attack buff the whole rod. Now, unfortunately, I had some runs line this up right. as you can see, we got resisted. Unfortunate that 15% happens, but hey, it happens. This could have been a very, very good run to be able to see how much damage he can do, but when he rips his S3 here, we just sit here and imagine that that could have been so much better if he'd had the defense break. Actually, normally the defense break will split the Banshee. So we should be coming up on Vivian's, with Vivian's S2 here shortly, so this will help wave clear this. But I think in this case, no, we did get it all the way. I was gonna say, there was a chance that she might, because I didn't see how much damage was taken off that back Banshee. Pretty quick run. We've got the defense break, so this should be pretty much over. I really think that, you know, if I was to be a person who was starting off and I had these units, you could definitely work up into some big damage stuff. And I think you don't have to have these crazy numbers, but again, I said for the sake of the advanced, we had to make it as nasty as we possibly could. So, as you can see with Violet, when he has the buff, it is a big chunk of damage. So, there you go. There is your normal farming Banshee 13 team. Now, I will say a couple things that I noticed through the other test runs. It is definitely a little bit slower when Helga does not land a single defense break. It does slow down, obviously, but you can definitely speed it up when she does land it. But again, remember, she has no skill ups whatsoever. There's nothing spent on her at all. No stigma, nothing. Again, we're saving our catalyst for potential collab unit. So, again, please just one-shot this. Don't farm this normal. But if you're absolutely trying to get into it, there are a ton of options to get into. I just didn't want to use limited units. Because my first thought was, if you guys want to be honest, I was thinking, why not bring Montmorency, SSB, Landy, and Vivian and just call it a day? That was what I was really thinking about doing. But I was, again, no limited, so here is a non-limited version. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below. I will try to help you guys out with your Banshee 13 teams. Again, just one-shot this. Video, Adventurer's Black Book. It's done, covered, everything you need to know. Right there. And, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Y'all thought I wasn't going to show this off, did you? Made you go the whole video and go, is he gonna show the stats? Show Kluri's stats. I need to know. Okay, chill. Yes, I'm gonna show you her stats. I was just memeing and waiting until the end of the video before you can actually see this. So, here you go. Here is the Kluri that did it. Yes, I did it on Revenge because it's just what Fribble said to do, okay? It's not because I was trying to force revenge on her to make a point. While great that is, it's just what Fribble said. Hey, you want the stats? Here you go. I checked speed and revenge, and this came out on top. Not my fault, okay? All right, so here's her stats. 178 ER. Now, you're probably like, but she was getting debuffed awfully a lot. Yeah, you're right, she was. But did you notice why I let it through? So she could chip, speed up, heal up, chip, speed up. So basically I was keeping her in that speed range by keeping her at that 20-25% range on her revenge set, allowing her to maintain a speed set speed here. That's why I let the ER through a little bit lower than normal. Because honestly, if you really just don't want debuffs at all, anything over 200 should keep you from getting debuffed or rarely getting debuffed. Alright, we didn't go with effect chance, which is why we missed a ton of def breaks, but hey, again, I couldn't get anything else but that. Or I had to sacrifice a ton of this for this, just on either one. It was weird. I don't know why when going for high ER builds, I can't get this to get up in the 60 range, and I can't, or this drop below 150, so I just had to let it go. We didn't do crit chance or crit damage because we could have memed on this a little bit, but again, we want the important thing of those stats right there and then everything above here. So we came out at 204 speed, but again, you got to think on speed set that is going, or on revenge set that will speed up as she loses some HP. And we did 19,000 HP. I am not using her self-imprint, as you can see here. This is the team imprint. I did not use a self-imprint, nor did I buy it. So see? It's still there. I did not use it for the video, and I just came over here and clicked it out to say I didn't. Nope, still haven't bought it. And then almost 1400 defense on Proof of Valor. Now, can you come up with any other build? Sure. Basically, the thing is you just need her fast enough to be able to take some turns. You need her to have enough resist to ignore getting debuffed, and ta-da, you can solo with Kluri. Yeah. All right, meme over.